time, I hope you're all well. Today I'm going to do my November wrap up. In the month of November I took part in Believathon, Tree Hillathon, Thankfulathon and Buzzwordathon. I failed completely at Tree Hillathon. It was a bingo board and I didn't get a line, so we'll not really mention that one. Thankfulathon I managed to complete 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 7 prompts, so that's not too bad. Buzzwordathon I did manage a couple of books for that, but not too many. And Believathon I managed to complete, so that was amazing. So I had a really good month, lots of middle grade on here, plenty of books to tell you about, so let's go through them. So the first book that I read was Spooksville Volume 2. I don't know if they call it Volume 2, the second book in the series. I listened to this on audio, I don't physically own it, and this was for the prompt for Believathon of a spooky, atmospheric or creepy read. It's called The Howling Ghost, and I gave this 3 stars. It was alright. I gave the first one, I think, in the series 4 stars, so I did prefer that one. We're just following the same characters from the first one through, you know, adventures of creepiness, so but it was fine. I gave it 3 stars. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it, so it was alright. The second book I read in the month of November was Thunderhead by Neil Schusterman. I am continuing on with the Ark of Scythe series. I read Scythe earlier on this year and I've been meaning to get to this, but I kind of wanted to leave it closer to the time that the Toll was coming out so that I could read them back to back. So I wanted to do that. This is following on, straight on actually, I think, from the Scythe, not the Scythe, just Scythe, and yeah, it was good. I gave it 4 stars. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed where the story took us. The cliffhanger at the end was a lot, so for people that read this as soon as it came out, and I've had to wait this whole time because I think this was sold as a duology and then it became a trilogy, if I'm correct in saying that, and for the people that were like got to the end of this that got it as soon as it came out would have been like, oh my god, is this a fucking joke? But yeah, the cliffhanger was a shocker. I'm so glad I didn't have to wait too long for the Toll, but yeah, I enjoyed this. It was really, really good. This didn't fit any prompts really for Believathon, but yeah, it was good, not bad. For book number 3, I read the book Forks by Nadine Brands. I gave this 4 stars. I did listen to it on audio. I've been wanting to pick this up now for about a year now. Now we're in December. It's been about a year, and I wanted to pick it up in November because obviously this is following Guy Fawkes to some extent. It's actually following his son. So this is following Guy Fawkes' son. There is a plague going round that contains magic, and you can have the plague in different senses. But if you've got like the grey plague, essentially part of your body, wherever it is, turns to stone until you eventually die. And Guy Fawkes' son, I think he's called Tom. Yes, Thomas Fawkes. He's turning to stone. And the only cure to the stone plague is to join his father's plot to assassinate the King of England. So that's basically what's going on, and it was really good. I enjoyed it. It was a little bit confusing. Obviously there's a lot of politics involved in this, and politics just aren't my thing as a general thing. I'm not interested in them, so yeah, but I did enjoy the fantasy element of this. Obviously it's historical fiction. I did enjoy the fantasy element. I enjoyed reading the bit at the end that Nadine's managed to put in as well, sort of explaining what is truth and what is you know, what she's sort of interpreted and then turned into fantasy. So yeah, it was really interesting. I did enjoy it. This is the second of Nadine's books that I've read now that are historical fiction, and I've really enjoyed them because I read Romanov earlier on this year as well, and that was really, really good. So yeah, I will be picking up more from her in the future. Whatever she comes out with next, I'll definitely pick it up. So yeah, 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read Mary Poppins. I listened to this on audio. It was fine. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I do prefer the film to the book, which I think isn't surprising really in a sense, but maybe it is, I don't know. This fulfilled the prompt for Believathon to read a book set in the past. So that's what I read of that. I don't think I need to explain what Mary Poppins is about because I'm fairly certain everybody knows what Mary Poppins is about, but it's a great classic and I do recommend picking it up if you wanted to pick shorter classics up, because it is very, very short indeed. I think it works out about 192 pages, so less than 200 pages. It's really good. Then I picked up Fantastic Mr. Fox by Roald Dahl. I'd picked this up for the Roald Dahl Day that Gav hosted as part of Believathon, and so this doesn't fit a prompt in general, it was just for Roald Dahl Day. I enjoyed this. I think I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. Out of all of them that I read, I only read 3 that week, but out of all of them that I read, I think this was my favourite actually. I really enjoyed it. The illustrations were so cute, and that was nearly an illustration that was not cute. But I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I don't understand how I've never read this before, but I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Following the next one I read on the same day was George's Marvellous Medicine. Good, it's a nice little adventure and I enjoyed it. 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read I, Cosmo by Carly Sorosiak. Every time. This is following a golden retriever called Cosmo and his family. His family consists of mum, dad, Max and Emmeline. Max is about 12, I think Emmeline's about 7. And his parents, Max's parents, Cosmo's parents as well, Max's parents have been arguing a lot and he's heard the word divorce thrown about. Max is really concerned that him and Emmeline are going to end up being with mum and Cosmo's going to end up being with dad, and he doesn't want to get split up from Cosmo because Cosmo's his best friend and he just doesn't want to leave him. So he comes up with this plan. He sees a poster for a dance competition, which if you win, you dance with your dog, and if you win, you get to be put in a film. So he thinks to himself, oh well, maybe this might bring mum and dad together and they might realise that we can't be split up and blah blah blah. So Cosmo and Max take part in this dance competition. It follows them on this journey of getting to that point. It's really, really good. I really enjoyed it. I associate with this a lot because I have a golden retriever. Just thought it was really, really cute. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I do recommend it. Very, very cute. No illustrations in this though. This fit the prompt for a book with an animal character. Then I read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. 3.5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was okay. I read this for a classic children's story, and I think I've read this as a child, but I'm not sure. But I wasn't a huge fan of it. Again, I prefer the movie. I wasn't a big fan of it. I just felt like it went on a little bit and it was driving me a bit mad, but the illustrations were cute. But yeah, 3.5 out of 5 stars, following a young boy called Charlie who lives near a chocolate factory. He's living in near poverty essentially with his mum and dad and 4 grandparents. His 4 grandparents are very, very old. They all share one bed, and the factory nearby is a chocolate factory and it's run by Mr. Wonka, and Mr. Wonka has had the factory shut down for a really long time. People are still working in there, they're still like making produce, but nobody's seen anybody go in or out for a very, very long time. Eventually he ends up opening this place back up to the public and sort of says, right, we're giving out 5 golden tickets. If you find a golden ticket in a chocolate bar, you get to have a day out at the chocolate factory. And yeah, it just follows George on this journey. It's really, really cute. I enjoyed it. I like the story. I like the story behind it. I like what's going on with it. But I just did get a little bit bored with it. But it was fine. I didn't hate it. It was fine. Then I read Frozen, which is a Disney animated classic book. So this is following the story itself. It's illustrated inside and it just follows the story of the film. So very, very simple. Don't really need to explain it, I don't think. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really, really cute actually, and I will be picking up more of these in the future because I really did enjoy it. It's very, very good. Following on from that, I picked up Aladdin as well. These are nice, easy reads. The illustrations are just gorgeous and I really enjoyed them. So yeah, I do recommend them. Another 4 out of 5 stars. Then I picked up The Best Bear in All the World by Paul Bright, Brian Sibley, Jean Willis and Kate Saunders. This is not by A.A. Milne. This is following Winnie the Pooh 90 years after he first came out into 100 Acre Wood. So obviously A.A. Milne has passed now, but this is just 4 stories for the seasons following, you know, winter, spring, summer and fall. I keep saying it that way now because of Gilmore Girls. But the illustrations are still in there. The stories are really, really gorgeous. I just love to be back with Winnie the Pooh on new adventures, because I've reread all the Winnie the Pooh stories over and over and over and over again. So it's nice to have some new adventures. The writing style was very, very similar. They've done really well to make it very similar to A.A. Milne's, and it didn't deter away from the fact that it's Winnie the Pooh, and Winnie the Pooh is A.A. Milne's, and just really, really enjoyed it. It was really good. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and I read this for, was it personal favourite. That's what I read this for. Very, very cute indeed. Then I read The Little Mermaid, another one of the Disney classics. Again, very good read, following the film. There's Ursula, the cow. And it was good. I really enjoyed it. I do recommend picking those up, by the way. Really, really good. Then I read The Christmasaurus by Tom Fletcher. I loved this. I thought it was friggin' brilliant. I really enjoyed it. Laugh out loud. It was my favourite book of the whole month. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I read this for a seasonal book. I just couldn't put it down. I thought it was fantastic. This is following young William, who is in a wheelchair. He has been in a wheelchair for a while now. I think he's disabled from the waist down, as far as I'm aware. I don't think it's necessarily specified, but I think that's what's going on. He was in a car accident when he was younger, and his mother was killed in the car accident. So it's just him and his dad, and we're following not only William, but we're following Santa and his elves as well up at the North Pole, and also the Christmasaurus. William's obsessed with dinosaurs, and it just follows them on this journey. It's really, really cute. I love that one of the first things you see when you open this up is an introduction to the characters you're going to meet in the book. It's just so cute, and this is perfect for kids as well. 5 out of 5 stars. I adored this. Tom's writing's outstanding. I'm definitely going to pick up more from him in the future. Then I read Wizards of Once by Cressida Cowell. This fit the prompts for a book with a strong sense of friendship. I listened to it on audio. It was really, really good. We're following a young wizard called Zar and a young warrior called Wish. These two have been brought up. Zar's been brought up to hate warriors. Wish has been brought up to hate wizards, and it just sort of follows them on a journey of meeting each other and realising that maybe they've been brought up wrong a little bit, and they go on a bit of an adventure. Zai's supposed to have come into his magic by now, and he hasn't done. He is trying to steal a witch's magic, which is black magic, and although his crow has been trying to talk him out of it, he's not managed to do so, and it gets Zar in a lot of trouble. So it's just that adventure. My favourite character in all of this book is Squeeze Juice. I absolutely love him. He's so, so cute. It helps that David Tennant's version of Squeeze Juice is just freaking adorable, because David Tennant narrates the book, and I really recommend it. I'm going to listen to the rest on audio because I just really enjoyed it so much. There's lots of illustrations in here, but I just really freaking loved it. It was so cute. Do highly recommend. I think you'll love it. Give it a go. Then I read Saga Volume 6. This had nothing to do with Believathon. I just wanted to pick up a graphic novel, so I picked this up. This is obviously the 6th in the Saga series, so I can't really tell you what happened in it because that would be spoiling it, but it's very, very good, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I thought it was great. Adventures of Sabrina Volume 1, which again was another graphic novel. I don't own it, so I read it on my Kindle. I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. It's very, very dark. Obviously, I grew up watching Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and this was extremely dark. I was expecting it to be, but it was a lot darker than I thought it was going to be, and I didn't really enjoy it that much, so I don't think I'm going to carry on with the series. But I haven't watched the Netflix adaptation, so I might give that a go and see if I prefer that, but we'll see. But it was fine. I give it 3 out of 5 stars. It was just okay. Then I picked up Wondersmith by Jessica Townsend, which is the 2nd in the Calling of Morrigan Crow series, the first being Nevermore. The 3rd one is coming out in March, called Hollowpox, and I'm really excited for it. This is fantastic. It's following a young girl called Morrigan Crow, who is deemed to be a cursed child. On her 11th birthday, she's supposed to die, and she ends up being saved by a guy called Jupiter North, who takes her to a place called Nevermore, which is like a really magical place. And the story just goes on from there. It's really, really good. This is obviously the 2nd in the series, so I can't tell you too much about what happened, but I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. Listened to it on audio. I have been listening to the audiobooks for these, and I read this for a book with magic, so it was really good. I do recommend it. Then I read Frost Heart by Jamie Littler. This was the group book and I really enjoyed this. This is following this young boy called Ash, whose parents have disappeared. They've been gone a really long time, and he lives in a town where he just feels like he doesn't belong. It turns out he has like some magical secret, which you'll find out about in the book, and his carer is a Yeti, who is a little bit grumpy really. He's trying to make sure that Ash doesn't kill himself or other people, and there are Leviathans, and then a ship comes into the place where he's staying called the Frost Heart, and he wants to go with them and try and find his parents. So he manages to get on the ship, and it just follows them on their adventure. It was really, really good. There is going to be a second one coming out next year. I really enjoyed this. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I just thought it was a really good adventure. Great pick from Gav as well for the group book, and I really enjoyed this. This is also the Waterstones special edition, exclusive edition copy. Exclusive sprayed edges. It's got sprayed edges. I don't know what I'm saying. And yeah, that was just a group book. It didn't really make it fit any other prompts. Then I read Wonder by R.J. Palacio. A book with real life issues. This is following a young boy called August who has facial differences, and he has never been to school before. He's always been homeschooled by his mother. He's got a big sister as well who goes to a different school than what he's going to go to, and it just follows him on his journey through going through school. I make new friends because people are scared of him because of his facial differences. You know, kids can be real cruel when they want to be, and it's really, really good. It's got a lot of bullying in here, which is a real shame. Broke my heart in places. I was definitely crying, but again, it was a fantastic book, absolutely fantastic. It warmed my heart. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. I just thought it was so beautiful, and I need to watch the movie adaptation now as well. I really, really loved August. I just thought it was adorable. Jack as well, his best friend, was such a lovely lad, so I just really enjoyed it. Then I read Malamander by Thomas Taylor. I read this for the prompt of a book featuring a myth or a legend. This is following a young boy called Herbie Lemon who ends up coming across a girl. He works in a lost and found in a hotel. She ends up coming crashing through his window and asking him to help her. They are following the legend of a Malamander, and they are going on an adventure following this legend essentially. She wants to find out what happened to her parents, and Herbie tries to help her out, and it was really, really good. Really enjoyed it. I thought it was very, very good indeed. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. I listened to it on audio. It was a real good adventure, and yeah, I do recommend it. I just think this cover's absolutely gorgeous as well. And then I read finally Sleeping Beauty, which was another animated Disney classic, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It was really, really cute. Again, it follows the movie with the what do you call them, fairies. God, brain's just not working. And I really enjoyed it. So that was my final book that I managed to read right at the very last minute at the end of the month in November, just to get me over 20 books. Favourite book of the month was definitely The Christmasaurus. I just really enjoyed it so much. It was so cute. I just loved the adventure as well. So yeah, had a really good month, and I hope you have enjoyed this wrap up. I hope it's not too long by the time I edit it, because it's currently standing at 22 minutes. So I shall see you next time. Bye for now.